If somebody else were to do this very thing, conceal their intentions from you, you would say that's wrong, you're bad, you would not regard them in any positive way. But then you would do it to them and think it is okay. That's a bad idea. If you do this, you're going to be the worst person to work with. You'll be the worst person to be in a relationship with. You're just going to live a horrible life of dissatisfaction, hate, and anger, and you're going to die alone. All right, first of all, if you did not see the first video, you should go back to that. It's going to make a whole lot more sense. Before we dive into this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, comment button, like, share. Make sure that you let us know what you think of the video. Again, by the way, you can read the full chapter. It's on page 16 in 48 Laws of Power. But what I'm doing here is I'm giving the short summary, and I'm going to decipher for you the way to use this or not to use it, because there's a lot of bad information in this book, even though it's very insightful about human nature. Okay, Law 3, keep people off balance in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what you're up to, they cannot prepare a defense. Guide them far enough down the wrong path, envelop them in enough smoke, and by the time they realize your intentions, it will be too late. Wow, is this bad? Now, is there an element of reality or goodness in it? Yes. In warfare, that's actually one of the ways that people can win in warfare. In poker, really good idea. Okay, maybe if you're working with a competitor to a mild degree, some of this, but there's a couple of important principles to always keep in mind when you're reading the 48 Laws of Power. One of them is the end does not justify the means. This is one of the most salient moral codes, ethical codes to live by if you want to do great things in life and become a giant. You can't just say, well, I want this outcome, so I can do anything to get the outcome, and the outcome is so important and so big that it doesn't matter what sort of bad behaviors I have to get to the outcome. That would be justifying the means. The end does not justify the means to get to the end. This is exactly why this falls short. There's another reason. It's classically the golden rule. Would you really want to be around anyone like this? Would you want to work for somebody that is like this? Now, I know that you may have, and that some people are, but this really is not the best way you run a business or you lead people. In fact, it's an atrocious way to do it. Now, again, Robert Greene, in kind of his own wording, has signified that if you did all of these laws, you would be very difficult to be around. And he has kind of conceded that some of them were written in a way that you would just not necessarily use on your own, but you would use to identify if others were doing them to you. Clearly, I think this has got to be one of those. Now, is it a bad idea to keep people off balance sometimes? No, it's not a bad idea. That can actually be an effective leadership strategy to a certain degree, in the same way that when you're training somebody as an athlete, you do cross-training. You're basically getting them to understand and adapt to certain circumstances. Special ops and other military people are kind of kept off balance in many different ways in order to become tougher at what it is they're doing in order to get someplace. But that's not why they're saying it. They're not trying to make somebody tougher or better by having them be off balance. They're trying to dominate them. So there's a huge difference. Keep them in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. That is a horrendous idea, unless you, again, were at war or a spy or playing a board game or playing poker. Instead, when you're going to lead people in a true good way, you should definitely let them know what your intentions are. Because if you let them know their intentions, they can endure difficult chances and say, hey, listen, the reason that I'm putting you through this, the reason that I'm challenging this way, the reason I'm asking you to do more difficult things is because I believe in you. I think you can actually accomplish this. And when you do accomplish those things, this would be the reward that you get. So you're putting front and center what it is they're going after and why you're going after this. They know your intentions, so they know how to manage through those intentions. Very important thing to keep in mind. If they have no clue what you're up to, they cannot prepare a defense. This automatically says that you are using this for nefarious behavior, unless, of course, it's a just war, like I said, board game or poker. Why would you want somebody to have to prepare a defense? I mean, unless you're their adversary. Guide them far enough the road, down the path, envelop them enough smoke, lie to them, deceive them, and by the time they realize your intentions, it's going to be too late. That means that you're trying to do something that is manipulative or dominant on them. I'm going to tell you, if you do this, you're going to be the worst person to work with. You'll be the worst person to be in a relationship with. You know this, and this is the thing that I've learned about people who actually adopt these without understanding that they don't mean you should do them, but you should be aware of them. There's a huge difference. I don't think that Robert Greene is saying be this way. I think he is saying be careful that others may be this way, or under certain circumstances, these might actually be able to be used. So the understanding here is this: when people do these bad behaviors, they generally never tolerate them from other people. If somebody else were to do this very thing, conceal their intentions from you, you would say that's wrong, you're bad, and you would not regard them in any positive way. But then you would do it to them and think it is okay, that's a bad idea. And if you entirely sell out as a full-on utilitarian user of people and you actually admire other people's bad behaviors because they were more tactical in their ability to manipulate than you were, and so your virtue that you respect the most is who can have the highest level of manipulations and deception, you're just going to live a horrible life of dissatisfaction, hate, and anger, and you're going to die alone. So be careful not to always conceal your intentions. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, you comment on this, share, and let people know what you think.
Hey there, Giant. Thanks for watching Durand On Demand. I need your help with something. The world desperately needs more giants. You know it, and I know it. We've been around a lot of people struggling, figuring out how to make things go. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this with as many people as you can. We're going to build this audience, and we're going to help people slay dragons together.